Hi there, thanks for joining me today. Today's practice is going to just help you ease into your day or maybe even just unwind at night. So let's make a start at the back of the mat in your child's pose. So bring the big toes together and open the knees out just a little bit wider than the torso and start to walk the hands forward. Hands shoulder distance apart, and you could start with the arms quite relaxed if that's better for you, and let the head rest down to where you can. If you can't reach the floor with your forehead, you might make some little fists or even grab a block and just pop it underneath the head or the forehead. Otherwise, just arms away from you. Just taking a few moments to settle into the body. Just notice what you're feeling right now. So maybe there's a little bit of tightness or tiredness in the body. And with each in-breath, start to take it into parts of the body that are feeling a little bit tight right now. So with your breath, trying to open up that part of the body. Just noticing if on the exhale you can let go a little bit. Starting to extend out into the arms a little bit more, so sealing the palms of the hands down, lifting the forearms off the mat, pressing down through the inside edges of the hands. Just taking an inhale to energetically lengthen out through both sides of the waist, maybe reach the hands a little bit further away, and then as you exhale, let the hips be heavy down towards the heels. One more time like that, deep inhale, lengthen through the waist, and then exhale, let the hips be heavy. And then let's come up into your tabletop position, setting up the wrists underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, sit the hips back down, letting the head relax down, and then inhale to come forward into your tabletop again. And then exhale, hips shift back into your child's pose. Inhaling, tabletop. Exhale, back. And again, inhale, letting the weight shift forward into the hands. And then as you exhale, the weight shifts back into the legs. And a couple more times like this, inhaling. And then exhale. And last time, inhaling. And exhale. Coming back into your tabletop position. Dropping the belly down gently, open through the collarbones. Inhale, press down through the tops of the feet. And then exhale to draw the navel in, tucking the chin in into your cat. And then inhale to open up into your cow. Shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale back into your cat. And inhaling into cow. And again, exhale. And inhale into your cow position, and this time let's tuck the toes under, press back into your down facing dog. Just trying to straighten those arms if you can, and then gently tapping the knees back down into your tabletop. Inhale, open through the collarbones, keep the toes tucked under. Exhale back into down facing dog. And again, inhaling, tapping the knees down, and then exhale back. Go one more time, inhaling, dropping the belly down, and then exhale, down facing dog. Come back down into your tabletop position, releasing the toes, and then take the right leg out to the side. I'm going to go for some hip rotations here. So keeping the right leg in this 90-degree position, try to carry it all the way back, out to the side, behind you, and then in. Keep the breath nice and open. And this starts to switch on the center of the body really quickly. So you'll notice that little bit of heat that starts to generate from this simple action. And the core needs to switch on to stabilize the torso. We're going to change direction. So go back behind you, out to the side, and close. Behind you, to the side, and close. And again, side and close. Behind you, to the side, and close. Last time. Strain that right leg behind you, flex the right foot, lift the front of the body away from the mat, and take that left arm forward, palm facing in. Just one breath. Bring that left hand back down. Carry the right leg out to the side, right heel in line with that left knee. Tuck the left toes under and then start to walk the hands forward as if you're in your down facing dog up torso and shift the hips back. You're going to press down through the outside edge of that right foot, just feeling a bit of sensation in the outside of that right leg. And then bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders and bring that right leg back underneath, coming back into your tabletop position. Let's go with the left leg. Carry that left leg out to the side, behind you, and close. Out to the side, behind you, and close. Inhale as you carry it out. Exhale as you draw it in. Keep going. So switching on these core muscles as well as mobilizing through the hip joints. Try not to overarch into the lower back, so keep lifting the front of the body away from the mat. Let's change direction. So go back, out to the side, and close. Back, out to the side, and close. And there'll be that tendency to try to really shift over to the right. Keep shifting the weight slightly back towards the left. This last two. And last one. Keep carrying that left leg all the way back. Flex the left foot. Keep the left hip rotating down. And take the right arm forward, palm facing in towards the midline of the body. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring the hand down. Carry that left leg out to the side. Left heel in line with that right knee. Tuck the right toes under. And then walk the hands forward. Shift the hips back. Holding it here. Keep pressing down through the outside of the left foot. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders. Bring that left leg underneath. Release the back toes. And then let's tuck the toes under to come up into your down facing dog. Let's take an inhale to rise up into the balls of feet. And then exhale to lower back down. And again, inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Take the right heel up into your three-legged dog. Keep drawing that left quadricep up. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing the knee in towards the chest, stepping it forward in between the hands. Use your right hand to bring it forward if you need to. Drop down to that left knee. Release the back toes. Plant the left hand down. Peel that right arm up towards the ceiling. Looking up towards that top hand. Taking one more inhale. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Tuck the back toes under, lifting the knee off, and then stepping a little bit further forward with that left foot. Take the hands a bit further in front of you. We're going to tuck this left knee behind the right and then extend away. So we're just taking a little perched bird here. So this right knee is just a little bit bent, eyes looking slightly forward. Keep breathing, shoulders away from the ears. And then let's take this left foot beside the right. And then take those arms out to the side, palms facing down, crown of the head reaching forward. Try to lift the belly button away from the floor. And then soften through the knees, bring the hands down, tuck the toes under, and then start to strain up through the legs, bring those arms up, drop the tailbone down, maybe starting to lift the sternum up towards the ceiling a little bit. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring the palms of the hands together, draw them down through the center, bring the hands back down, soften through the knees, step that left leg all the way back. Come down onto that left knee, keep the back toes tucked under, and let's lift those arms up into your low lunge. From here, keep those lower ribs drawing in. Maybe start to shift the hips a little bit further forward. And if you'd like to bring the palms of the hands back behind the head, prayer position in between the scapula. Just eyes looking forward.
this might be plenty for you. If you want to go a little bit deeper, start to imagine there's a big beach ball behind you. Drop the tailbone down and then start to take an upper back bend. So lifting the eyes, elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Take one more inhale and then exhale, releasing those hands down. Let's straighten this front leg. Flex the foot towards the face, release the back toes. Take an inhale to lengthen out and then exhale, fold down to where you can. This is somewhere you could use blocks if you need a little bit more height. Trying to draw that right hip back. Have a sense of the sternum reaching forward. So often we tend to end up rounding a lot, which is completely fine. It just means that you probably need a little bit more height if that's happening for you. And then let's bend into that front leg. Walk the hands forward. Tuck the back toes under. Step back into your down facing dog. Take an inhale to come forward into your plank position. Come down to the knees, chest and chin. Keep the toes tucked under. Elbows squeezing in. And then release the belly down, release the toes. Let's take those hands back just underneath the elbows and then inhale, coming up into your baby cobra. Let's take those hands away from the mat for a moment. You can bring them back down, just a little bit of weight. So think about 20% weight into those hands and 80% in the back and the glutes and the backs of the legs. Take one more inhale and then exhale, release it down. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, press back into down facing dog. Just taking one breath here. Taking that left heel up into your three-legged dog. Keep drawing that right quadricep up. And then as you exhale, stepping that left foot forward in between the hands, dropping down to that right knee, releasing the back toes. Right hand stays down. Take that left arm up towards the ceiling. Eyes looking towards that top hand. One more inhale. Exhale, bringing that left hand down. Tuck the back toes under. Lifting the knee up and step the right foot a bit further closer towards the front foot. Take the hands a bit further away from the left foot. Tucking the right knee behind the left. Crown of the head reaching forward. Just in your little perching bird here. Try to lift the navel away from the thigh. Again, this might be somewhere you want to use blocks if you need a little bit more height. And then let's bring that right foot behind the left and release those hands. Take the arms out to the side, palms facing down, crown of the head reaching forward. And then softening through the knees, release those hands down, hook the thumbs, take an inhale to come all the way up to standing, drop the tailbone down, maybe lifting those eyes a little bit, sternum lifts, and then palms of hands come together, exhale, forward fold. Bring those hands down, step the right leg back, keep the toes tucked under, come down to the right knee, take those arms up into your low lunge, those floating ribs in. Maybe starting to shift the hips a little bit further forward, but have a sense of continue to lift up through the front of the body. Option to take those hands behind the back, reverse prayer position behind the neck, or down into the upper back. If you're wanting a little bit more here, starting to imagine that big beach ball, keep the tailbone dropping down. Imagine coming up and over something with the upper body, starting to lift the elbows up towards the ceiling, eyes lifting. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, releasing the hands down and then starting to straighten this left leg. Walking the hands back a little bit if you need to. Just keeping that right hip over the right knee. Take an inhale and then exhale to fold forward. Releasing the back toes if you haven't already done so. This is really one of my favorite poses. So Ardha Hanumanasana. Such a simple pose, but so amazing for the whole body. Back of the legs, the hips, the lower back. Just really focusing on trying to soften with the exhale. And then let's bend into that front leg. Walk the hands forward, tucking the back toes under. Step back into your down facing dog. And then inhale to come forward into your plank position. Once again, let's go knees, chest and chin. So knees, chest and chin. And releasing the belly down, release the toes. Draw those hands back. And this time, let's take those hands, palms facing down, resting the head down for a moment. Try to lift the kneecaps off the mat. Reach the tailbone back in between the feet. And then inhale, coming into your locust position here. And lift those arms away from the mat. Try to press the pubic bone down onto the mat. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, releasing down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back towards the heels, tucking the toes under. Coming into your down facing dog. Starting to walk the hands back towards the feet, softening through the knees, relaxing the head down. Two options here, you could take hold of your elbows or your forearms. If you want something a little bit stronger, interlacing the fingers at the base of the head. And the weight of the hands is just going to lengthen out the spine a little bit more. If you feel okay with your balance, you might close your eyes. Just one more breath here. Just releasing those hands. Soften through the knees and walk the hands back out into your down facing dog. Looking towards the hands, bring the hands in a little bit closer together and then stepping the right foot to the outside of the hand and the left foot to the outside of that left hand. Coming down into your deep yogic squat. Bringing the palms of hands together. And press out with the elbows, lengthen up through the entire spine. So let the hips be heavy. Feel free to sit down on the mat if you need to here, or pop some blocks underneath the hips. Feeling free to stay here. If you want to take a little variation here, take the right hand to the outside of the left shin, left hand to the base of the head, and start to take a turn or twist towards the left. Taking an inhale, and then exhale, coming through center, going the other way. So take the left hand to the outside of the right shin, right hand to the base of the head, turning towards the right, taking an inhale, and then exhale, coming back through center. Let's all meet with the palms of hands together and taking last couple of breaths here. And then bringing the hands down and make your way to a seated position. Extend the legs away from you and then just give the legs a little bit of a wriggle out and then lie down on your back all the way down. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest, just giving them a little bit of a squeeze and then placing the left foot down, right ankle on top of the left thigh, threading the right hand through the middle, holding the outside of the shin or the back of the thigh if you can't hold the shin. Just letting the shoulder heads drop back. Just take one more inhale and then exhale, squeezing the legs in a little bit more. And then let's release that foot down. We'll swap it over. Popping the left ankle on top of the right thigh, bringing the legs in, interlacing the fingers around the front of that right shin bone. Feeling free to close down the eyes. Continue to press the back of the pelvis down as you bring the legs in. Just the last couple of breaths. And then let's release the right leg down. Release the legs all the way long. So coming into your Savasana, just letting the feet fall away from one another. Let's lift the shoulders away from the mat. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back as you place them back down. Closing down the eyes completely. Just noticing the parts of the body that are in contact with the mat. The back of the head, back of the shoulders and upper back, a bit of the mid back, back of the pelvis, the calves, the heels, and parts of the feet, and backs of the arms and backs of the hands. So with each exhale, allowing yourself to get a little bit softer and a little bit heavier. So resting here for the next few minutes. Just feeling free to stay here for as long as you need to. Just thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. Namaste.